Welcome to Skyways to Highways, Camp Kitchen.
A word of caution, you're gonna see my mushroom happy dance right now.
Organic, fresh, beautiful produce.
One of my favorite things to do is the farmer's market.
We're back at our campsite and we had a lovely day of hiking. It was actually pretty nice. And we're just gonna start cooking a little dinner here. And today I'm making some campfire chili. And I'm gonna be using my double Dutch oven. It's a nice little oven that's kind of a two-part by Lodge. It has a little frying pan and oven part here. And I'm gonna be putting this in our campfire tonight. And I'm gonna let that slow cook. I have my pinto beans and my stock that I made previously at home from my food scraps, my food waste. You know, the onion bottoms and tops, all this stuff. I save all of that, and at the end of the month in my freezer, I'll have this nice big bag, and I'll take that and use that to make this beautiful stock that I use for just about everything. And it's nice, it's rich, it's flavorful, so I'm going to be using that as the base, along with some chili paste that I made also at home. Just to make this process a little bit easier. Yeah, I could do that all in the campground. It's just, you know, why? You know, we're here for 3 days and I want to see this beautiful national park as much as anyone else. And I don't want to spend, you know, 4 hours sitting here in this camp kitchen. So yeah, we're going to use that. It's going to be delicious. I've got some Upton's Natural chorizo that I'll also be putting in there. I've got a potato. And I have these beautiful mushrooms that I picked up over at Dunk's Mushrooms in Brentwood, New Hampshire. So I have these lovely, lovely little chestnut mushrooms here. They've been in our fridge for a couple of days, and you know, camp fridge, yeah, they don't like the humidity in the camp fridge so much, but they're still going to be really good in this camp chili. And I have some oyster mushrooms and some elm mushrooms, so I'm just going to mix those. Yeah, we're just gonna get going, and I'm gonna prep this up, and hopefully this shouldn't take no more than hour and a half once we get the fire going. So campfire chili is quintessentially a awesome meal for camping, especially on a day like this. You know, the sun's going down, but there's still a chill in the air. You know, this is June, and yeah, it's still a little chilly, so this is going to be pretty nice around the campfire tonight. I think it's going to get down to like 45 degrees, and so this will be a nice welcome meal around the campfire. And tomorrow we've got not so nice weather, so this might even be some really good leftovers as well. So right now I'm just going to chop up my mushrooms, and you know, I like mushrooms to look like mushrooms in a dish. I don't like to finagle with them too much. I like to keep their natural state. So I'm just going to roughly chop these. As you can see, I've shredded my oyster mushrooms, so I'm just going to quickly chop these through. What I want is some nice, chunks in the chili. I don't want everything to be too uniform. So I think my mushrooms are in good shape. I'm gonna grab a bowl and put my mushrooms in. And I'm going to separate them because my chestnut mushrooms will cook a lot quicker than my oyster mushrooms. So I'm just going to keep these separated because I'm going to put the oyster mushrooms in first. Next, I'm going to peel my potato. And I'm probably just gonna use half of this potato. I don't need the whole potato. I can use the other half for something else later. That's good enough. And I want this in really medium dice. You know, I don't necessarily want big giant chunks of potato in my chili. And I also want them to cook evenly. So I'm gonna slice these probably into a medium-sized dice. So we're at Blackwoods Campground today, here in Acadia National Park. It's pretty nice. Yeah, we're here for a couple more days. We did a quick little hike today. Well, not really quick. It was a good 4.5 miles around Jordan Pond, which was pretty nice. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Okay, so I've got my potatoes down here. So I'm gonna put these in. And I used dry pinto beans, and I got those started at home. They're not quite done through, but they are pretty close. So it won't take too long for these to cook. And I've already chopped my onions and my bell peppers. I'm gonna grab a few fresh herbs here. I have some myrtle. This is one of my favorite herbs. And I have some parsley and thyme, chive. This is myrtle, our wandering herb garden. I'm gonna put my Dutch oven in the coals, and as soon as that comes up to temperature, I'm gonna get started on this chili. I hope it's a good one. I haven't done this in a long time, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, guys. So my pan is as up to heat as I'm gonna get it right now. So I'm gonna get started on making this chili. And add some oil in the bottom of my pan and get started. So I'm starting with my onion. I'll tell you something, this is smoking. And I'm gonna put my potatoes in. Potatoes are raw right now, so those are gonna take a little bit of time. And I also want to get some brown on these. Let me just get my hands in here. If you've been watching our channel, watching me cook, you know that I prefer to have brownish flavor, caramelization, the Maillard effect. I really enjoy the flavors that it brings. So I do want a little brown on my potatoes. Chorizo mushrooms, the chestnut mushrooms, the oyster mushrooms. Next I have my celery. And I'm going to put this lid back on and let this steam a little bit. And also keep some of the ash out. I'll give that about 5 minutes and then I'll give it a check. So because we've rushed the fire, it's a little bit smokier than it should be because the fire is technically not really ready for this. But it's getting dark, so we just started a lot earlier than we would have normally. So I'm trying to breathe through the smoke here, but my potatoes have enough color, I think.
Give them a couple more minutes.
I'm going to add my bell pepper, and I'm going to add my chorizo next. So chorizo's going in. And next, my bell pepper. Well, let's take a look and see where we're at. Again, we've got our potatoes, our onions, our red peppers, and our chorizo in. And it's looking pretty good.
Really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yep. And our mushrooms next. And as I said earlier, I'm going to add my oyster mushrooms first. Some garlic, just a little bit. So I'm just going to add half of my garlic right now.
And back to my position.
Alright, we're going to check on our mushrooms. Is that your stamp of approval?
They're looking good to me.
They're looking pretty good. Hopefully.
I think I would put more stuff in. 1, 2, 3.
Why are you counting?
Go.
Why are you counting?
Action.
But that's already recording.
Oh. Well, get actioning.
Get actioning. All right, so we've got some nice brown mushrooms, potatoes, everything. And I am now going to add my chili paste. As you can see here, I have taken some arbor chili, some chipotle, some mulatas, and rehydrated these and made a nice paste with garlic and onion. So I'm going to be pouring that in. And this is going to be the base of my chili.
How much is that?
I'm going to start with half of that. That's probably about a cup. Maybe a little bit, about a cup and a quarter. I'm going to start with that. And then I can always add more, but that's going to be the base of the chili. So I want to reduce it almost like a mole, you know, like creating a mole. So I'm just really going to reduce this. Get some nice brown on that before adding my stock. I've allowed that to sit for a little while. And there's a nice color on here. As you can see, it's a nice mole consistency. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So next, I'm going to add the rest of my mushrooms, my chestnuts. I'm going to give those a sec. And meanwhile, I'll add my beans. Another addition of garlic. That's about the equivalent of 3 more cloves. I like to add the garlic in stages. And then next I'm going to add this beautiful stock that I made from my food scraps. And we're going to let this simmer. Got some bay leaves in here. And it's looking pretty good. And this is going to simmer at least a half an hour before we check on it. So this is Gary's technique to keep my chili going, the fire.
So
Our lovely fan.
Yep, just a little fan.
That's fan and flames pretty well. That's looking pretty good.
It's looking good. Yep.
That's what I was looking for. Alright. Looking really good, actually. So, last addition.
Green stuff.
Green stuff. And some fresh herbs. Okay guys, that's it. Finally got the campfire chili done. It took a little bit of time. I'm not gonna lie. We had to adjust the coals and make sure that we got them hot enough, and we ran out and then had to restart again, but came out pretty good. Looks pretty tasty. Is it good?
Good.
Yay.
Delicious.
How's it, cuz? Is it good?
The best I've ever had.
Wow, thank you. Guys are enjoying it. This was some pretty good chili.
It's delicious.
Not bad.
It's pretty good.